welcome to Conscious Living and Loving. I'm Taylor.
And I'm Amy.
And welcome back to the yurt.
Yay!
It is Throat Chakra Week.
Yes.
And it's your number.
Yes, it is.
I was thinking about that on the way here. I was like, oh, I'm going to get there at like 10:05. And then I was here at 10:05 and I was like, that's super awesome. Yeah, but I'm super excited for this week. It's one of my favorite aspects of the chakras.
Nice.
Just because I'm a talker.
Yeah.
So
That's good.
Do you want to tell us a little bit about it?
So the throat chakra is, it's awesome that it's your favorite.
Mm-hmm.
It's definitely this potent, it's communication, it's inner truth.
Yeah.
To me, it's personal power and will. I know that the third chakra is personal power, but the fifth chakra is in relationship with that second chakra. So that
Mm-hmm.
creative energy and that manifestation has to be brought into, in the beginning there was word. And so that the verbalizing of our word is very powerful and potent.
I totally agree with that.
And in that regard, you want to keep it powerful and potent with your integrity to your own word and all that. So we'll get into that deeper in a minute.
Yeah. the speaking of your truth,
yes,
which I really like.
Yes.
I've definitely noticed that happening this week for me.
Yes.
Where last week I was in a very reserved space where it was like, oh, am I going to hurt somebody if I say this? Or how is someone going to take this if I say it in this way? And the past couple days I've just been like, this is what I'm feeling, and I'm going to speak how I feel, and if you don't resonate with that, that's fine. And so I think that's been a very fun process.
Yes, growth opportunity.
Yes, always.
Yeah, I too had quite a week of, that like we've said, this is just continually working us, and the heart chakra piece was really a wonderful, I got in deeper into my heart center, and then that movement upward and thinking about communication and really paying closer attention to that, like the integrity of my word. Am I speaking my truth, or am I trying to soften the blow and appease somebody, which is actually manipulation.
Yeah.
In its real raw form. It's not intentional.
Well,
we think we're being nice, but it's, not your truth.
And I totally agree with how, I felt that energy move upward and be like, no, you're heavier here. Honor yourself.
Yes.
Because because it's such a healing thing to just speak your truth.
It is.
And not worry about the judgment of other people.
Yes.
And instead of holding it back and just letting it sit there in the solar plexus, for me personally, and let my anxiety build and let my depression build. Instead, I'm speaking that, I'm feeling this way, and this is why I'm feeling this way.
Right.
And even if no one's listening to me, at least I'm speaking it out for myself, and I'm speaking out to the universe, so the universe hears me,
right,
and can say, okay, she is healing this, and working through it, even if no one around me is actually
claiming it in word. I like that a lot. That's great. And would you tell us about this wonderful rollerball?
Which has been helping so much. So this is the throat chakra rollerball. And it is frankincense, eucalyptus, and lavender. So it's such a beautiful, herbaceous blend. And it also connects you with the frankincense to the heart chakra. So it's continuing that energy upward, as well as it has rose quartz crystal and aquamarine in it. So you have that rose quartz from last week to tie in and move the energy upward, as well as the aquamarine to bring in that water flow energy to flow it back down to the root chakra. So then you're grounded in speaking your truth, and your truth is in the root and in the higher self.
I love that. And what I'm really getting to is balance.
Yeah. I
feel that this kind of comes in and and in truth, when I am grounded and centered and willing to show up as who I am and speak in my truth, that's my most balanced place, because that is going to be where my heart is open. I'm, in balance of love and self-love and my yin-yang sweater, which happens to be blue, but I really smell that in here. That's the first thought that came up, and also the balance of it's really important to speak your truth. It's really also very valuable to listen and to discern when speaking. You know, we can't just walk around all day and be like, but, oh, that's my truth. I have a relationship with someone who tends to say to me, I'm going to speak my truth. And that's like AKA for I'm going to tell you my opinion of you. And that's not, that's like a small T truth. And that's one perspective to share. But the big T truth is that willingness to really listen and discern, is this my emotion speaking? Is this my higher self speaking? Is this my heart? You know, really get in touch with, like you did, through that whole exploration process that we've been through this whole time up to here. It's like utilizing the gift and the tool of communication.
Yeah. And I think with that too, another huge piece of communication, like you said, of listening, is the comprehension of what the person is saying to you, and not just seeing it for maybe what they're saying on the surface, like seeing a little bit further and be like, okay, maybe I do need to ask them more questions, or they're trying to reach out for a reason and they gave a small piece of it to see if I would catch on to it.
Yes.
And that's when the person wants you to keep asking the questions and digging for more of their truth.
Yes.
And seeing when people are calling out for that.
Yes.
I think a lot of people do have a blocked throat chakra and don't know how to fully express how they're feeling and get that out there to people.
Yes.
And so they'll throw that little tiny grain. Because I tried that this weekend with my family, where I threw out a tiny grain to say, this is how I'm feeling, I need help. And because no one received it, it was like, okay, I'm the only one who understands this truth that I have. So let me just sit with myself and communicate with myself. And then we got a whole tweet thread because I was like that, because I needed to be able to put it out there for myself, so I could go back and say, okay, you expressed how you felt, you validated in a way that it's out for other people to see it.
Right.
However, I know that I'm the only one who's going to be looking for it. To go back and be like, okay, so this is how you're feeling, this is how we've moved through it, and have that communication with myself rather than another person.
I love that.
Thank you.
That's awesome. Very creative.
It was very therapeutic.
Good. And that's the truth, because keep saying that word today.
Take a shot every time we say truth.
This is a drinking game, actually. That could be a good one.
No, you're vibrating.
Just kidding. But that communication isn't only in the spoken word. It's also in writing and tweeting and whatever you're doing. And yet, like, let's bring our throat back to it, this vehicle, which can lead us into my segue. Today, I wanted to do some toning with us, because
I was thinking about that this morning. I love that.
And toning isn't about, you know, how it sounds. It's not about harmoniously. So if your inner judge comes up, it's like, turn it off. Not time for that. We're not in, you know, an audition. We're just opening our throat chakra. So a lot of times I do this in the shower because it has great resonance and it's fun. Or in the car. It's a wonderful tool to use before you're going to speak, or have a difficult conversation with someone, or whatever it is. Anything that has you a little bit like this, because the tendency when we're angry is that we're going to contract. If we're afraid, we're going to contract. We also contract our vocal cords. So then you can tend to your tone. Have you ever had a talk with someone? They're like, your tone is, you know, and you're like, what? I'm
you're
fine.
Like, I'm just trying to talk.
But it's that. So if we can just continue to breathe and open and become like that flow you talked about, keep that flow going, then you have more capacity to utilize the tool of your communication properly and effectively. And that's what we're all going for, basically. So, okay, clear your throat. Let's just take a couple breaths together at your own pace, whatever fills you. On the inhale, bringing in all the love and support, seen and unseen, that is out there in the ethers for you. Exhaling and releasing anything that does not serve you today. Inhaling, bringing in that love, that trust, that exactly who and what you are right this minute. And as you exhale, let's let any and all half-truths just blow like petals in the wind, just blowing in the wind. Inhaling again that love and support, the I am presence. Exhale, and any roles that you've been assigned, that you've assigned to yourself, that you have to be this way or you have to be that way, just let whatever's willing to just slide off like a banana peel.
I love that.
Just an easy, slippery banana peel. Bye-bye. Because I want to truly be me and discover what that means in every moment of every day. Okay. So to get ready to do the oming, we're going to do, I think om is a pretty universal sound that's pretty dynamically easy to say. So om is the sound, and the way I do it is I inhale, to hold the end. I close my mouth when I still have air so that I'm still vibrating, and I'm vibrating the roof of my mouth, and that means it goes up into my pineal gland.
I love that.
And opens that up. So
it's so beautiful when you do that. I know it's not a talent show, but like I can listen to that all the time.
Well, good. I'm glad you enjoyed it. But really, it's just about opening up and opening up that capacity. And you know what? If you want to close your eyes, you can close your eyes. You can open your eyes. You can. So it can be funny. I do it when I do sound baths, and I ask everybody to make an om. I usually do it after the eye pillows are on because people get very intimidated to make sounds. This is just the truth. Is to make a sound is like vulnerable, right?
Oh, 100%.
So,
because I sit here, I'm like, okay, when am I gonna have to do it? Is she gonna have me do it? Am I gonna have to be on the...
Do I have to participate today?
But then it's like, okay, but that's me showing, it's that simple of seeing how you're doing it and then taking it and moving and being able to do it.
I'm very
So I feel like we should probably do one together just so.
Okay. Would you like some
we should
tone?
Let's do that. That's beautiful.
Okay, so this is G. Okay, ready? Inhaling. Smile at the end.
I love how in sync we were.
You know what's so cool about toning in groups is even if you start out funky, there's always a time when it comes together and you can't hear your own voice. Like the coolest thing about toning is you don't want to be louder than everybody else. That's not the goal. You don't want to be softer than everyone else. You want to be you.
Yeah.
So utilizing your breath, and at some point it all synchronizes, and that is just like, it's such a cool spirit experience.
With that, I think it's really interesting because I was reading something that says we all have the ability to mimic any sound. It's just whether we choose to do it and choose to practice enough to be able to mimic it.
Yeah.
And that's why some people are super duper good at like impressions or singing and different stuff, is because they listen to it so much and practice so much that they're able to tone themselves to do that.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
That's wonderful.
Because, I mean, we're all capable of it. It's just whether we access those aspects of us or not.
Yes.
Choose to. Too. Like, I don't know if I would choose to imitate people because I'm just,
You have other gifts.
Yeah.
Okay, let's do one more.
Okay.
I didn't mention this, and I just started to do it, but I like to play around with opening my mouth in different. That's why I like open my mouth. You know, like singers before they sing or they do like blah, 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 they do all these different things and use their mouth, and so sometimes when I'm toning, I do funny things with my mouth and just see where I can get the breath to go and move and what it sounds like. And so playful.
Mm-hmm.
Like this to me is a tool to be used in reverence, but also a tool to like take yourself lightly. And sometimes you hear some sounds, and that second Om that we did, I can feel it sometimes. It's clearing energy blocks, especially if I'm toning in a group or for people. There's times where some funky sounds come out of my mouth, and I have to just be like, all right, I'm just moving energy. And this is what it sounds like, people.
Well, and honestly, that's really all that it is moving energy, which is really cool.
Through this really interesting system.
Yeah.
So that, so the toning, and do you feel how your body feels kind of like you upped your vibration?
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, definitely. Especially with the rollerball too, because I felt like that opened it, and then the toning really helped to just set the tone.
The tone, exactly.
I didn't have a better word. I just didn't have a better word.
I never foresaw this being so funny.
It's because it's the throat chakra.
And laughing is a really good throat chakra clear too.
As well as the like coughing and clearing and drinking water.
Yes, mine's across the room, but this smells so good, you guys. So that is a really great, exercise and maybe homework that's pretty quick. I keep my roller balls, I carry them around with me, but I keep them in the car because like I like to do the toning in the car, and I like to have access to the roller ball because
you're gonna need one for the shower too, for the throat chakra.
That's a good point.
Yeah. That would definitely be a good idea.
Okay.
And if you don't resonate with rose quartz or aquamarine, some other great ones are lapis lazuli.
There's a nice chunk.
Yes. Kyanite. That one up. And what was? Oh my gosh.
Chrysocollus was
Yes,
one.
that was one. And then I read Amazonite. That was the other one.
Amazonite.
I couldn't, because it's that light blue color.
Yeah, that's actually on my earring.
Oh, I love that.
One of the stones.
Yeah, and then Larimar is another one. It's only found in the Dominican Republic, which is super cool.
It is. Special.
Yeah. So those are all great ones. And yeah, any of the blue, like lighter blue colored, because the throat chakra is a light blue. Yeah.
Sky blue. We haven't had much blue sky in Seattle lately, but I find such support when I look up at the kind of gray sky and I see one little patch of blue. It's like, okay, there's a window of truth. There's a window of that blue sky is always behind the clouds, right? Even if we can't see it, it's present. The sun is always there. So to just have faith that presence is there.
I like
so we're on tarot.
Oh yeah, I like to start shuffling them when you start talking, and then we see what comes up. So the first two cards that came up. Oh my goodness, if I can pick them up. We've got, are they both nines? Oh yeah, we've got the 9 of Wands and the 9 of Pentacles, both upright. So it's confirming that we are opening that throat chakra. Good things are coming in. We're bringing in that positive energy. Yeah, and just looking at what we have around you and seeing the truth that you already have.
I love that.
And where you're putting your energy, make sure you're only putting your energy in things that bring your highest good, or bring in more of your highest good. I don't know why.
Open to more of your highest good.
Wasn't processing.
It's always there wanting us to open to it, but we don't always open to it.
And just so welcome in that good energy. Definitely do a couple of the ohms to bring that in. And get rid of your higher critic. Don't release the judgment with yourself. The Emperor is the divine masculine, or the tarot shows us. And it's telling you to get rid of that. Get rid of the outward energy and flow inward. Trust yourself. Trust what you know. Instead of looking at outer sources, look at yourself, because we have the 3 of Cups and it's surrounded by other people, but it's reversed. So surround yourself with yourself. Trust your truth. You don't have to, or you can release all other judgments besides your own, or even release your own too. But what you believe and need for yourself is exactly what you believe and need. So welcome that energy in. Because I felt like, for me personally, this weekend, like, releasing judgment was a huge thing. And having judgment over my truth, and having judgment for feeling the way that I feel, and feeling like, oh, if my life is this amazing, it can't be bad, or there can't be bad pieces. And it was really interesting because I saw someone share, and it may have been Amelia that shared it. I'm not sure, but it was talking about that there's hurt in so many aspects in the world, but choosing which hurt resonates with you better, and which one you're okay with living with.
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah,
wow.
Which I thought was really, really powerful, because it's like, okay, that's true. So
yes,
I'm gonna choose the pain. Which pain would I like, and am I okay with dealing with?
Yeah. Wow. I was, when you were talking about the critic, I was one of the things I was reading about the throat chakra is how you know you're out of balance is you kind of start to resonate towards gossiping or talking negatively about yourself to yourself, or talking ugly towards other people. And it's in a song that I love, this India Arie song, but it's, I'm the first one that hears everything I say. So whether I'm speaking inwardly negatively to myself or negatively outwardly, I'm still hearing it all. And that can be, you don't have to go into this terrible, like, oh my God, I'm so bad. Just go noticing. Wow, honey, what's wrong? What's causing you to, what's hurting, so that you are in that hurt place? Because hurt people do hurtful things, right?
Yeah.
And whole balance people tend to be more loving and do more loving things. And it's like just becoming more of an observer of your own self and your own behavior can be done without the criticism. It can be done in a loving way, because if your objective is, your goal is balance and supporting your life and everybody else's, you're going to tend to want to have those more aligned, loving actions and words and behaviors and choices.
That's very true.
So this is a really, good place to be an observer of, so that you can, have some data to work off of to see if you're getting towards your...
And to even give you more data and direction, something I was thinking about on the way here, because I was like trying to come up with different other tools besides like crystals and tarot cards and essential oils and the rollerballs that I feel like I personally use a lot. And for me, that's journaling. And I'll sit, and so what I'm gonna recommend is, if you're having one of those moments where you see that you're talking negative, or you've had something come out of your mouth and you're like, why did I say that? What's the meaning behind it? Write it down, and then read it to yourself a couple times, and then set a timer for, let's do 5, because 5, I usually do 7, but set a timer for 5 minutes, and sit with that statement, question, whatever it is that you've written down, and then write about it. And just do auto writing, no judgment, no second guessing. Your pen and pencil goes on the paper, and you just write for 5 minutes, and you just keep going until the timer goes off. And if you feel called to keep going after that, then keep going. If you don't, then go back and reread what you said, or take a step away and come back the next day and read it. So then you're still processing what you wrote, because that's my biggest piece, is I don't go back and read it because I don't want to know what I've said. I feel like I've just released it. And I think that is something that you do need to go back and read it, so you're like, okay, this is how I healed. This is the transformation of me healing it. And seeing the power that comes from that.
Sure. And you can do the questions like, is this true? Wow, what does this remind me of? Has this come up for me before? Is this is this a sort of a theme, a life theme? Because some of us, I think all of us have like a core wound that we tend to kind of stub our toe against it no matter what.
You can see the cycle.
Yes, exactly.
And then you're like, oh, okay, this happened on this date. I can look back and say, oh, I had another journal entry on this date that was about the same thing. Let's compare those 2 journal entries and see if I've even made any progress in the healing.
Right.
And then you also have a tool that if you're working with a therapist or a healer or a friend, family member, anyone that is assisting you.
Program.
Anyone that's assisting you in your healing journey, you can say, hey, I have these 2. Would you read both of them and see if you notice anything that I'm not noticing?
Mm-hmm.
And then people can get inside your head a little bit to understand your thinking process and how to help you in a better way.
Yeah. Even reading something out loud to yourself.
Yes.
You can hear
that's powerful.
Yeah.
Hearing how you think on paper is,
and you hear it in your own tone, and it's like, okay. And that's an interesting topic of tone is we got to remember, and your mom taught me this, that I give the tone to the email, I give the tone to the text, because if no one's reading it to me, then and it's so funny, she said that to me years ago, and it's like
I remember when you told me about her saying it to you.
It's been one of those life impactful things that somebody said to me. And so if I hear myself adding like a snotty tone to something, I'm like, hey, hold up, girl.
You're like, I gotta read it without
I don't know that this is the tone that they said. So then that makes me stop and think. And I think anything that can make you pause and reflect, especially in the world we live in, where it's instant gratification, it's instant reaction, it's instant offense, being offended, it's really, really valuable to go, okay, and take a step back and do a lot of self-reflection, like you said. And I think that's fabulous. So such a good point. Journaling, I love journaling myself.
Me too. I go in and out of it,
and that's fine.
Yeah. It's definitely something I'm going to strive to do.
A million pieces of like mail or little pieces of paper that I'm like, and then they're valuable.
You know what the best is though? When you find one that you wrote like months ago and you're trying to figure out what you wrote. Because I like write little like manifestation things, and I found one when I was cleaning. I was trying to read it and I'm like, where were you going with this? And it's like, I really like felt so much like energy and connection to whatever I wrote when I was writing it, and now I'm like, I don't get it. Like I get it a little bit, but I like when you move past
you're like,
it.
higher self, take this one for me. I love that. I do have a short little meditation that I could do. Okay. Okay, everybody. So take a couple breaths and just really get into your body. Make an auto-suggestion to pull your auric field in. Just give yourself this moment, this time. Be surrounded by yourself, this self energy. Just bring it in. Bring it in and bring a beautiful iridescent light to it. See it as a waving movement of iridescent light. So iridescent to me can look like a pink sheen or a green or like dragonfly wings, that kind of, and right now we're gonna just add a little bit of a turquoisey, and I gotta have pink in there too, shimmer to this beautiful outer layer of your auric field. And just do some self-scanning and see if you can see that beautiful bubble of this energy all encompassing you, even under your feet, above your head, your sides, your back, your front. If you find a place that isn't moving or that you don't see this bubble around, just breathe into it. You can ask for help, call in your angels and guides and ask for help. They love to assist with absolutely anything and everything you have need of in this life. You just have to ask. grounded, clean energy. This time we're going to bring this beautiful shaft of light up through the bottom of our feet. With each inhale, we're going to pull this very, very strong, vibrant, almost like electric lightning weight. And we're going to invite it to be the light of truth within our being. To just move up and through us, clearing and strengthening the foundation of who we are, the connection to this life that we're living, increasing our potency, our vitality, our resilience, the love of self and other, the integrity of our word. And as it is here, that light, that lightning light, let that light beam shine forward from our throat and shine backward from the back of our neck. And see that chakra, that throat chakra, spinning and clearing and cleansing and just really blowing off almost all miscommunication, all sabotage on communication, any kind of negative blocks, entities, anything that is inhibiting clear communication in our lives, through our living. Excellent. Now rejoining that light into the center and bringing it up into our third eye area, through our minds, our brains, allowing that light to just move into clarity, strengthening and trusting our inner knowing. Coming up and through our seventh chakra, just clearing the communication with us and our higher selves, our connection to source, and allowing that beautiful lightning light to just come out and shimmer and burst and move through that outer layer of our aura. So now it's got that iridescence, but it's got that lightning sparkle, that clear, brilliant sparkle of light. Calling up and balancing and setting the intention that each and all of our chakras have been cleared and flushed and are spinning at the absolute perfect rate for us today to move in and through our day in love and in truth, in highest vibration of self. Take a final deep breath. Raise your arms up to the ceiling. Shake them out a little bit. And as you exhale, bring it down. That was a lot of energy to stir up. So I'm going to ask that you just ground it into the earth, any excess. Hello.
That was absolutely beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, you're so sparkly, guys.
I felt so good. I completely felt the energy move up and down and
Good.
yeah. And I really felt it move into that third eye place. I saw the light like with it in there, and then I was just kind of like stuck, like staring at it. I was like, "Oh, that's real cool."
Wow, you're so cool.
I was like, I'm hypnotized. And then you sent it up, and then I definitely came back. But
Awesome. Good.
we're enjoying the third eye energy.
Yes.
I'm excited to move
Right.
up to third eye.
Right?
Oh, we're moving into my
Right.
my aspects of it. I'm loving this.
It's my jam.
Well, I mean, like, all of it are mine. Like,
Yeah.
they're both
No, I get
everyone's,
it.
but
Oh.
yeah.
Well, awesome, you guys. This has been a lot of fun.
Yes.
We've generated a lot of
So much energy.
and I'm really excited to see the impact on the planet.
Me too. Make sure you drink water after watching this one.
Lots of water.
Yeah, I can definitely feel that flow needing to happen more.
Yes.
Yes, and then we will see you guys next week for Third Eye. Thank you so much for being here.
Yes.
Make sure that you follow, subscribe, like, do all the things.
Do it.
And thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.